What up, what up, what up, what up? This is Merrick representing Hustlenomics LLC. And today I'm going to be talking to y'all about the pros and the cons of buying rental property. Guys, one of the pros of buying rental property, the numero uno, in my opinion, is cash flow. Say it with me, cash flow. Why? Because you need cash flow. The purpose of buying a rental property is to get rent. If you're not getting rent, what's the purpose of even buying the property? You want to be getting profit every single month from owning the rent house. You want to make sure that you're making, let's say that your mortgage, taxes, and insurance are $1,000 every single month, and you rent out for $1,400 every single month. That $400 is your profit because you went through the trouble of financing that piece of property. So out of that $400 that you're getting every single month, let's say that your water heater needs a repair and it costs $200. It's not coming out of your pocket, it's coming out of the profit that you've gotten from the property. That's why you do it. You don't buy rental properties just because it's a cool thing to do. You buy rental properties because you want to be profitable. So cash flow is number one. Number two, properties appreciate. Over the course of time, rental properties or any properties in general appreciate at generally 3% every single year. So if you have a $100,000 property and it appreciates by 3%, that's $3,000 every single year. Over the course of 10 years, that property is going to appreciate from $100,000 to $130,000 by that train of logic. So by appreciation and by cash flow, you're making money every single month from your rent, and your property is naturally appreciating just by owning real estate. That's why appreciation is incredible, and buying in areas that appreciate makes the most practical sense. If you're buying a property for $100,000, most people don't have $100,000 just sitting around. So what are you going to do? If you have a $100,000 property and you've mortgaged it, you have to put down between 3.5% to 20% on the property. So for this video, let's say you put down 20%. So you owe $80,000. Every single month when your tenants pay rent, they're paying down your mortgage on your property. So eventually, over the course of 15 years to 30 years, you're going to own that asset absolutely free and clear, and your tenants paid for it. Now, of course, there might be some months where there's a vacancy, and God forbid, some months where you have to evict a tenant, and yeah, you're gonna have to bite that bullet and pay out of pocket. It is what it is. Sometimes it gets tough, and you gotta be strong. You gotta be a strong man or a strong woman to handle that situation. But most of the time, your tenants will be paying for you to own the asset. Loan pay down is one of the greatest reasons why rental property is one of the most conservative ways to build wealth, because tenants every single month help for you to buy down the asset one rent check at a time. Now, we're going to talk about depreciation. Correction. Where I was talking about for depreciation, income doesn't depreciate. The house, you take depreciation out on the mortgage on the house. So every single year you can take depreciation out on the house because you have to pay the mortgage, there's repairs, there's expenses that come with home ownership. So that's what you depreciate. You don't depreciate the monthly income. The monthly rent income, nah, you don't depreciate that. Let's keep it going. Now these are the pros. The cons for buying rental property. To be honest, I'm biased. I own a couple and it's pretty awesome. Some of the cons to buying rental property, it can be expensive to get into. And if you're going to buy investment property, you have to put down 20%. If you're not going to put down 20%, which even if it is a $100,000 piece of property, that's 20 grand. Most people don't have 20 grand just sitting in their bank account. So you would own it in your personal name. So you're taking a risk by buying the rental property. Yet the risk is mitigated because you have leverage, which is in the form of a mortgage. So your mortgage is what you have to borrow in order to purchase the property. And if you're able to afford it, then you're okay. But you risk repairs. You can be sued by your tenant. Your tenant might not pay, and you might have to come out of pocket while evicting your tenant. So it's not all sunshine and roses. There are cons with this. Repairs have to be made because you own it. You finance it either in your business's name or your personal name. Foreclosures. If you don't have enough money to hold the asset and pay the monthly debt, you'll be foreclosed upon. So you have to be smart in how you finance these properties. Also, your tenants can sue you. Now, of course, if you're smart, which you should be, you should get insurance, which you should. Dear God, get insurance. Because if your tenants sue you, first of all, it won't just hit you. You'll go through your insurance and you'll have liability. Let's say you have liability for $70,000 worth of liability. So you're going to deplete that $70,000 worth of liability before they can go for your personal assets. And if it's in an LLC, they could force to sell the property in your LLC. God forbid. But that's better than it hitting your personal assets and you have to come out of pocket. So buying rental property isn't all sunshine and roses, as I said prior. But I think it's a great way that the average person can build substantial wealth. So this is Merrick. I represent Hustlenomics LLC. Peace.